Welcome to Take a Look. A Mexican drug lord transitioning in a number of ways. It's the most complicated, albeit revolutionary cartel stories you'll ever see.
To listen is to accept.
And did I mention it's a musical? It is. We'll catch up with the already award-winning cast about it and
You don't face your fears, you ride them.
the only Twisters you want in your home. Twisters, the major motion picture now streaming on Max.
I'd like you to meet Margaret. Nice to meet you, Margaret.
Tom Hanks and Robin Wright. That's right, Forrest Gump and Jenny and their director reunite for Here, about a home now playing. We'll catch up with them about Here from the home of one of America's top critics. And
The Hermans are absolutely the worst kids in the history of the world.
'tis the season, the best Christmas pageant ever. A new movie now playing and is as sugary sweet as the vision of sugar plums dancing in your head. I don't even know what that means. But if you do, you'll love this new movie in theaters now.
$5 say they burned down the manger.
That and more as we take a look.
Look. Hey, you're just in time. Welcome to Take a Look, where we talk about movies on the big screen, small screen, everything in between. Where does the week go? It's like a week ago, I was standing right here saying, hey, be sure and get out there and vote. And you've done it. And now let's address what's first and foremost on your mind. What's winning at the box office? What's #1 streaming? I can't do it by myself. That's why Steph Sanders is here. What's up, man?
My man, how you doing?
Dr. Steph Sanders. Do they know you're a doctor?
I don't think so.
Have I been rude all this time
No,
by not
you're
saying Dr. Steph Sanders?
You're good. You're good.
All right,
You're
doctor,
in.
thank
Your grandfather in.
Later on, there may be a medical checkup I'll need you for. All right, in the meantime, let's talk about a movie that's going to change things dramatically. It is revolutionary. It is Emilia Perez. Now, before we get into the meat of it, like, this movie is going to change things. It is
Everything.
going to be an award season darling.
Yes.
But did it shock you?
Big time. I'm like, who pitched this?
Were you wondering how this movie... I'm glad the movie got made, but you have to wonder how it gets there.
Good weed.
All right. Is that what it is? All right, okay, so you're Ted Sarandos, and I'm walking into your office. Hey, Ted, I've got a new movie for you.
I love to hear it. Love movies.
All right, you know how Narcos is huge?
Yes.
All right, you know how people love their drug cartel movies?
Yes.
Well, I got one for you.
Yes.
Only the drug lord wants to make a change.
Okay, they want to be nice.
Yeah, we get to that later, but right now wants to transition.
Okay.
And it's a musical.
Okay. So Scarface meets The Wiz. Scarface meets Wiz.
Exactly. Narcos meets Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes.
All right, so you're handing me a check for $25 million?
I'm handing you a check for $25.
Then let's make this
20.
movie. Take a look at the movie. It is made. It is going to change things. And like I said, it's going to go on to win many Academy Awards. What did you love about it? Let's talk about the cast.
2 words, Zoe Saldana. This is my stage crush, my screen crush, my everything right now.
And Zoe, because much of the movie, like, not many of us can relate to being in the mind of a Mexican drug lord around that universe. She kind of represents the you and I of the world.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so I went behind the scenes, not with her, but with the 2 leads to talk about it. Carla is amazing in this, as is her co-star. Take a look. A game-changing experience. There is no movie like this. It is revolutionary. When you saw it, what was the first thing that jumped out and said, I have to do this?
When I knew it was a Jacques Audiard film, of course I wanted to be here. And when I read the script, I realized that it was a very challenging project. And it was, in fact, for me, difficult to understand some scenes that I could even understand until the very day that I saw the film. I was like, oh, that's it.
When I saw your director in the room with all of you, and he said, how intelligent is my cast? I'm so gifted to have this intelligent cast. And he went on to say that you taught him so much about what the movie should be and how it evolved largely as a result of all of you. Can you remember a specific moment that you changed something that you're so proud of?
Yo amo trabajar con Jack.
So I love working with Jacques Audiard because he's the best director in the world. He is so intelligent and he leaves the world of cinema with such passion. It's like a childlike wonder in the sense of play in everything he does. And that gives you freedom as an actor. It gives us the freedom to act. And there was a lot of fun moments, like Jacques running around us and me begging him to stop because I wasn't sure if it's because are we doing something wrong or it's because he was so excited about it. Because as actors, we need to pay attention to every single detail, like cameras, light, and everything. But seeing this man's excitement was inspiring.
I love that this movie reminds us that good can come from bad things. In fact, even in the moment the two of you meet,
You're full of rage. You're going in for hate and even to kill and find love in this experience. What do you hope people walk away from this movie being reminded of or thinking towards?
That just love is a power force, and that you have the power of change your life. Even if it's a tiny change in your life, could be huge. I mean, if you really do it and you have the courage to do it, and that's it. Love for yourself and for the things or the people that are around you. It's magic.
Para mí lo más importante.
For me, what's important in this film is that precisely that power to change and the power to touch hearts in all of those who see the movie. And my hope is that by doing this, we have planted a seed in the audience for them to see that the change is possible.
Bien. Movie is muy bonito, bonita.
Bonito.
Bonito. Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry for the time.
Yeah, and by the way, that brought up another discussion. Bonito, bonita, because bonita kind of means pretty. Do you say this movie's pretty? No, not necessarily, but can it in slang kind of mean it's a nice movie?
Yeah.
That broke off. The only big debate we had was bonita or bonito, because gender A, gender O in Espanol. Do you speak in Espanol?
I do, un poquito. And I think I'm going to get 25 million. You know why? I just started a drug lord dating app. This would be this would be fantastic.
You always see something extra in everything. Whether you think you're going to love this movie or not, I promise you, you are going to love this movie. You're going to find out what all the Oscar hype is. Ted Sarandos, I forgot to tell you, it is in Espanol, the entire movie, but subtitled beautifully, even when they're singing. All right, see that on Netflix. Now, coming up, what you can watch at home. Also, it crushed it on the big screen. This might be the only time it's good for a Twister to hit your home. Twisters, now in every way home video. I'd say get it in 4K, but we'll talk about that next. Welcome back. It is Take a Look. Thanks for hanging out with us. Men and women watching all over the world in 177 different countries and territories worldwide who have served and are serving our country. Thanks for watching on AFN. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
You know who else we appreciate? Anyone who survived a Twister to help tell the stories. Look, I'm pitching it as though it's a documentary.
Hey.
You need to see Twisters. I used to say see it on a big screen. Just go over to his house. You can see it at home now, right?
85-inch.
All right, take a look how glorious it looks even right here in our own studio. The cast, just as charming as the original, don't you agree?
I agree.
I had a chance to hang out with them, to catch up with them. Take a look. We got a group, so let's start with the group response. If you feel it,
Chase it.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for committing to this movie. Thank you for chasing your parts in this movie. Shot on film, so you can't do a lot of takes. Nope. So, not that any actor in their right mind would ever want to yell cut, but name one moment on the set you wish you could yell cut.
The final sequence in the movie theater scene. I mean, there were a couple moments, just being pelted with rain and just like, your eyes are red and you barely can speak correctly because you're just getting blasted with wind and rain over and over. You're soaked all day long for like 14, 15 hours. Yeah, there were a few moments that day where I wanted to call cut, and that's a wrap.
Yeah. You know, after those insane scenes where you're just getting blasted with stuff, usually, even though they're really intense scenes, usually we were laughing right afterwards because it's so ridiculous. What we're looking at is an entire crew of people shooting things at you.
And they always look really gleeful.
Yes.
Like they're always like they look
Like
really
they're excited.
to be throwing like debris, ice, and
They come with anger
sorts. Yeah.
on set, just ready to hit you with hail.
You thought you could destroy a tornado.
we never had a chance.
You want one? You don't face your fears. You ride them.
We got twins! Twins!
I think Glenn Powell, they're calling him the it guy right now because he is the it guy. He carries this movie like an action star should, and there was good chemistry.
Good chemistry. I loved everything about it. I love the fact that they realistically looked like they were getting pelted by in a Twister. So.
And it's because, like they said, it was practical. They really were getting pelted.
Yes.
All right, so in a nutshell, sum up your review of Twister. See it because?
Must go see it. Adrenaline rush. And, as a matter of fact,
You go see it. But wait, hey, where are you going?
I'm going to get my Blu-ray copy at home.
Okay, as he leaves, see Twisters at home right now. All right, coming up next, we've got an amazing thing to talk about. The movie stars Tom Hanks. It's a reunion of Tom Hanks like you've never seen before. Tom Hanks and Robin Wright, and one of the most dramatic ways of telling a story. Why you're gonna love Here at your home next. Hey, welcome back to Take a Look, and thanks for watching on AFN. If you're watching that way, you're in 177 different countries and territories worldwide, and we thank you so much for your service. All right, now I want to do service to this movie. It is called Here because it's all about here, shot in one point of view. The camera never changes that direction, with the exception of one thing I don't want to plot spoil right now. It is an amazing motion picture. To talk more about it, someone who went deeper than me, the pride and joy of the Critics' Choice Association and one of America's top critics, it's Tara Hitchcock. Tara, thank you so much for joining. How you doing?
You are such an ego boost in your introductions, but not to spoil things, where is Steph, just out of curiosity?
Oh, we did kind of this Netflix role play. I think he's now a Netflix executive because of a role play we did earlier in the show. You're stuck with
me.
me.
Which may be the only thing, well, it may be the only thing seen in more countries than apparently your show. So Netflix, maybe he made a good move.
There you go.
How many times have you interviewed Tom Hanks over the years?
Probably. Now, keep in mind, like, there are some people that we talk to multiple times a year, like Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. We've had that luxury. Tom Hanks is a rare treat. In 30 years of service, I would say maybe 6 times.
Well, same. And so here's the irony. When I went to interview him for this film, and obviously I was thrilled to see him and Robin Wright together, I sort of interrupted their conversation, which is why I just sat down in my seat. But I had to bring something with me that I received on a junket I did with him in 1996. Take a look.
Hey, you.
I'm sneaking in. Tara,
if there's anybody who's trouble in this press conference,
it's got to be you. No, me. Oh, you might be right.
Tara?
My husband would agree with you.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, you got that fabulous combination of being blousy and ballsy.
Oh, I love it. That's a T-shirt slogan.
By the way, yeah. And by the way, that's the girl you go out with. And
Blousy and ballsy.
Blousy and ballsy.
That's like a clothing shop name. I'm not kidding you. That's genius. Blousy and ballsy.
It is yours.
I know you all have a history. Mine almost goes back as long as yours. This was one of the first junkets I ever did. And you signed this for me in 1996.
Man, oh man.
It says blousy and ball. No, it says God bless. It says God bless Tom Hanks. So thank you.
That is us. 1, that thing you do is one of my favorite movies. And 2, when are you launching the clothing boutique? That's amazing.
I mean, I love blousy and ballsy. I loved that. By the way, Mark, how many things have you saved over the years from junkets? This is one of my most prized possessions. What is yours?
Really, I have something that I didn't get at the junket, but signed also by Tom Hanks with That Thing You Do, because he wrote the original draft on a napkin in a Holiday Inn about a mile from where I'm shooting right now. I love that movie so much.
Oh my gosh. I hope you have that framed. Yeah. The movie is interesting. You used the word remarkable. It fell a little short to me. That being said, I thought the de-aging was incredible, and I loved what they were attempting to do here. It's very unique, and in a world where we're used to things that don't seem so original, I kudos to them for attempting something very original, based on a graphic novel, by the way, from Richard Maguire.
Yeah, as we talk about this movie here, it is remarkable. Pretty much set one point of view in a home. Take a look at your deeper discussion with the pairing about that.
Okay, here we go. Hey, Dad, I'd like you to meet Margaret.
As long as you've known each other, what is the one thing? Because in this movie, the camera angle stays the same, life moves and changes. What is the one thing about the person sitting next to you that in all these years of knowing each other has not changed?
We're still laughing.
Oh my God, that's all
we laugh
do.
so much.
There is an ease that has existed from the first time we said hello.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and that's such a gift in this business.
I will say, too, we have also gone off and had this kind of interesting checkered careers because you have created, you have directed, you've done it all. And I have
So
too,
have you.
and
Yep.
you had that. So we know how not to waste time and muscle. Does that make sense? That helps us focus on, what the red dot, the reason that we're there.
You're not going out dressed like that.
We're at the right place at the right time making this movie. There's a huge library of images of Tom Hanks and Robin Wright at different ages, and we can process it and basically put it on like makeup.
I know they sent that really cool featurette about how the technology that's used here, and I would imagine it is super cool to see yourself at different ages, but I would also imagine it's got to be emotional. Did anything hit you in a strange way as you were seeing yourself and interacting in real time? Was it, a unique response to the technology? Or was it just cool? I can't read that face.
It was a fine tool. It was. It required a not caring, because we had to look at it where are our shoulders? Where is that, kinetic energy that you carry with you when you're 17 and 22 or 28 years old? And then along with that, too, comes the
eyes.
Yeah.
That's where you see the real youth. Lack of life experience. And you have to remember, oh, I didn't know all the things that I know. I'm not as jaded when I'm playing that age. But that's what the visual tool did for us, was gave us the innocence in the eyes, and then we had to do everything else physically.
I have to ask quickly before they wrap me about the props. So much of this, too, is recognizing, things that bring you right back in whatever decade you are from. Silly question, were there any props that you all personally contributed to any of the sets that maybe you had? The MASH, I saw you in a MASH t-shirt. I thought, I wonder did anyone have props from your own collection of stuff you've saved?
There was a TV by General Electric that was the TV that lived in our house where I literally watched Apollo 8 go around. It was and I took a picture of it and sent it to my siblings and said, "Do you guys recognize this?" And they said, "The TV from Johnson Street." It was it was a time machine for me. I just looked at it, because what I should have done is just gone down on the rug and looked at it like that, because that's where I had watched it for about 7 years of my life. That was that.
That is awesome. And probably the reason, as we just discussed, you and I aren't actors or actresses because we would steal everything from the set. I gotta have that TV.
Yeah, totally. And again, it's so fun. Imagine living on Johnson Street in formerly Tom Hanks's home and being there now. And I do love the idea of, who lived here before us? What was their life like? It's a great concept.
Absolutely. Tara, thanks so much for sharing the interviews. In a word, how would you describe Here?
Oh my gosh, you put me on the spot. Charming. I hate to use, I feel like that is an overused word, but it's because you get to see the two of them together, which I think any fan of Forrest Gump will just love to witness.
It is
on a
charming.
big screen.
I was trying to make it easy on you by just having you say one word.
I know.
Thanks for hanging out. Tara, where can we find you on social media?
Oh my gosh, I'm horrible. Instagram is really the biggest thing I'm active on. Tara on TV. I'm not great at Twitter or Facebook anymore. But and if you're in the Phoenix area, Good Morning Arizona, or at any Heart Theater in Arizona, but in our state.
There you go. And with that said, best
Did I
freeze ever. All right, we'll see you next time. Tara Hitchcock, thanks for joining us. All right, coming up next, speaking of charming, it is charming, heartwarming, joyful, and triumphant. Those are all the words I have for right now. We will go behind the best Christmas pageant ever. The best holiday movie now playing in theaters everywhere, next. Hey, welcome back. It is Take a Look, where we talk about, oh, there you are. Hey, look, it's Steph Sanders.
I love Amazon.
Welcome back. You missed the whole thing with Tara Hitchcock. We talked about Here, the movie with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, but I got my Blu-ray copy.
Okay, good. Of Twisters?
Twister, man.
All right, I know what we're doing this weekend. Did you bring me a Diet Dr. Pepper? You brought me nothing. You left set. All right. Welcome back. Let's talk about what's new and what's next. In theaters right now, crushing it at the box office, technically at number 2. It's this new Christmas movie, Best Christmas Pageant Ever. What did you like about it?
I love the wholesomeness of it. I got a wholesome movie, and everybody can relate to this family that's in their neighborhood.
It's incredibly wholesome. Pete Holmes, Judy Greer star in it. I caught up with them to talk about mostly the big stars in this movie are its littlest stars, the kids.
You two are so lucky to have worked with these kids.
I know, and we're here to tell the story about it. Literally.
A lot of them were AI.
No, none of them were. They were amazing.
They were
way more professional than us.
True.
They really managed their sugar intake in a way that we never did.
Cheaper to feed. They eat less food.
Working with kids is great because the hours, less hours.
Fewer hours. Clothes are smaller.
Yeah.
Less fabric.
They were all so wonderful.
The Hermans are absolutely the worst kids in the history of the world.
Honestly, I swear, not just saying that. Like, they made this movie. If those kids weren't so talented and brought so much heart to their roles, I don't think anyone would care so much about this film.
And if it was legal for them to do a 12-hour press day, you'd be talking to them right now.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know. So true. I like this movie so much. I'll tell you one thing. I like this movie despite the fact I typically don't like the comedy of Pete Holmes.
Why don't you like Pete Holmes?
He has this kind of generic, goofy white guy vibe.
You?
Exactly. Sometimes we don't like looking in the mirror. All right. Judy Greer is great in it. Like I said, the kids are amazing in it. And it's odd that it is number 2, but it's tied for number 2 with Heretic. How crazy is this?
That's real crazy. But every year we need this new Barbenheimer thing, you know.
And you've got it with this. Both of them equally good in their own lanes. And again, choose what you're going to go see. You might see Heretic first, and then you're going to need a cleansing.
Yeah.
And your way of going to church would be going to see Best Christmas Pageant
I'm going to see it
ever.
at a matinee.
Yeah, there you go. All right, hey, Steph, where do we find you on social media and catch up with you?
I am Steph Sanders everywhere and Barely Tall Enough Tour everywhere. So
That's right,
check it out.
Dr. Steph Sanders. All right, coming up next week, we go behind the scenes on the set of Wicked. I guarantee you this, too, is going to be a box office changer, a movie that you'll be talking away all the way through the end of the year. On the set with Wicked and more next week. Don't miss Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, Jeff Goldblum, maybe a couple munchkins next.